All right, what's up guys? Steven with Diamond Hands Detailing. I figured I'd go ahead and show you a couple upgrades I've made on the truck bed setup. Seems like when things go wrong and I have to change something, it's always in a busy part of the week or something, so I don't ever really get to make a video. But I hope this is helpful if you end up trying to get either a Kranzel or like a pump like I have from Ameritech. This is with a Udor pump. It's a big electric motor. Couple things I ran into. So in the video where you see me do the first install with this, you'll see I had an individual PVC line out of the built-in inlet that came on this tank. There's a ball valve there that goes here. I'll kind of reposition. So there's a ball valve and it drops down to the inlet on that pressure washer, and then I had it coming out here with a bucket fill, essentially how this is, except for it was on the same line. The guys at Ameritech said that might cause an issue because it could suck in air, and I believe that that's what my problem was. So as you can see, I've installed a 3/4 inch bulkhead fitting and have an individual line for bucket fill now, and then I have a direct feed from the tank to the pressure washer so that never gets interrupted. What was happening was, I wouldn't exactly call it cavitating, but I was getting some really serious vibration after it sat in bypass mode for a minute. So it's almost like whenever I let off the trigger and it was returning to the tank, somehow it was sucking in air. I even tried to double ball valve it just to hopefully prevent that issue. It could have also been debris. What I've been getting is from my spot free setup here. There's resin inside of it, obviously, deionizing resin. And for whatever reason, I was getting a pile of it in the bottom of the tank. And whenever I took off that inline filter there on the pressure washer, I was noticing a little bit of the fine resin granules. So I cleaned out the valves and everything on the pressure washer. They're all functioning perfect. The seals looked great, but for whatever reason, I was having that issue. So now that I've done this, I've gotten 3 cars out of it since I've replumbed it, and it seems to be a lot more smooth. I was dropping down to about 800 PSI when it would do that, and now I'm back up to around 1,000 to 1,200, depending on what tip I use. It's a 2 gallon a minute pump. I use 2.5 orifice. It allows me to get a little more water out with less pressure, which seems to be best for washing cars for me. That's all I use this for. Another thing I want you guys to be aware of, if you have a Kranzel, if you plan on getting a Kranzel for a mobile detailing setup, or you plan on getting one of these Udor pumps from Ameritech, I had to upgrade. This is the smallest 7500 inverter generator that I could find. And it doesn't have to be 7500. It's just the smallest size with the biggest punch. The 3500 was bogging down, and it was flipping the breaker. It would be hot outside and I couldn't wash the cars. It just didn't have enough startup amperage to pop that pressure washer on, and that's really bad on the capacitors too and stuff. So this Gen Max has been treating me right. I'm doing all the oil changes and everything on time because it's an expensive unit. I got it around the hurricane time, so I kind of got it on sale. But yeah, it's probably the best one. I had to take the wheels and everything off so that it could still fit under the bed. I plan on upgrading to a 100-gallon tank soon. I already have the tank. I got to get a topper, so it's gonna take a minute to get. Those toppers are like $3,000, which is ridiculous, but that's gonna help me out a lot. I'm gonna fire this thing up though and show you how well it's working. It's a lot more smooth. This pressure washer is actually pretty cool. Or not pressure washer, excuse me, the generator. It's got a remote start. Just like that. Turn this pressure washer on. So you want to keep the trigger open when you start it, and I don't have a pressure tip on there when I start the pump, and I do the same thing for shut off. I take the pressure tip out, hold the trigger, and let the pressure release so you don't blow your seals or have a pressure spike. Much better. right at 1,000 PSI. I mean, it's perfect pressure for washing clothes. Let me shut this noisy machine off. The Gen Max is definitely a little bit louder than the Predator, but man, it's so nice to have a little bit bigger generator, and I can kind of run everything. Even with the pressure washer on now, I can run everything. So yeah, it's been nice. It has a 50 amp switch on it too, which I thought was awesome. Those are kind of hard to find on these smaller inverter generators. I don't use it, but if I ever needed to, I can. So it's kind of nice to have. That's pretty much it. This seems to have solved the problem. I got a couple joints I need to tape up again. Looks like I got some water dripping at the inlet there, but other than that, it's been great. I got a shorter hose here, shorter jump hose, and I'm running a Meritech pressure line now, 50 foot. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the update. If you have any questions about this setup, let me know. Definitely don't plan on changing this format though. When I get the topper, I'm just gonna put a 100-gallon tank in there. Everything else is gonna stay the same. So the money maker. Thanks for watching, guys.